Girl, look at your background.
Happy birthday, babe. Now, I think you're seeing it backwards, so I want you to read it backwards. Yeah, it be ha. Happy birthday.
Oh, I don't even have my glasses on. So right now you're in this glorious background with all these stars.
Well, it says happy birthday.
Oh, yes, I love it.
It's
Thank
your
you.
birthday. It's your birthday, babe. Yeah, birthday dance, birthday party, and Shazam. But watch, I was trying to turn it around so it wouldn't be backwards for me, or so it could you could read it right because I think you're reading it a little crazy. But then when I tried to fix it, it would be like it turned diagonal and it turned upside down and it turned a little crazy. So I was like, "Oh right, birthday party extravaganza."
We do not justify in this room, lady. We don't justify.
Mm. Thank you, but I did I really stretched myself from
Oh,
a
I see
computer
it. I,
standpoint. I
I'm
made a
grateful.
stretch.
I am grateful for the vulnerability and the courage. I love it.
All right, perfect. All right, I might say bye to the birthday green party.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Goodbye, birthday green, and
Thank you.
hello, life.
Hello.
Is it too much that I have Buddha back there?
No.
Okay, thanks.
I'm always fascinated as what's going to be in your background. Yours, and mine has changed too. I put
Mhm.
a little.
Yeah. We're getting cozy in my background. We got some pillows and everything. This little guy behind me is made out to a little bed. So if you want to take like a little siesta, get a little cozy, maybe read a little book, drink a little coffee, you've got it.
I love that. Happy Sunday, my friend.
Happy Sunday.
This is our first time back. We've been on a little vacay. We've been doing.
We've been on a vacay. We've been on a hiatus.
Wow.
We've been living our wild lives. We got to see each
Wild.
other in person, which
Huh?
was glorious.
It was glorious.
It
It
was
was
so
glorious.
good.
My dad is in, and Papa and I went and saw Elton, the tribute to Elton and ABBA last night at in concert. Yes.
Oof. Well, first of all, secondly, and third, I gotta know, did ABBA sing Knowing Me, Knowing You?
Yes. Hmm.
Thank you.
And they did a perfect, twist, 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 and then they had tassels, tassels, tassels.
Jen knows I love a good tassel or a
And
good fringe.
I knew.
Every word,
Mhm.
every word.
Every word. I was like, Mom would be so happy. The three of us sitting here singing Elton songs, singing ABBA songs underneath the California sky. What a better like tribute to summer. I was like, I love this moment.
Yeah, and you know what's kind of nice about a tribute band? When you're at a concert, like sometimes you are singing your heart out, but you can't really hear what the artist is singing. And, you respect that. It's like maybe you're not supposed to hear how great they sound because you've heard them, you had their album, you have their whatever, you've listened to them on whatever device you're used to listening to them on. But when it's a tribute band, freaking sing, people.
Mhm.
Sing loud, sing proud,
Mhm.
because it's a tribute band. You're supposed to sing. It's just a celebration of music.
It's a celebration of music. There were costumes, there were couples, there were young people, there was Mamma Mia dances, you know.
Come on now.
It was
Come
glorious.
on.
Although I didn't tell Papa the tribute part at first when I told him over the phone that this is what we would be attending, and then yelled, it's a tribute. And then he was like, "Oh, I was about to, you almost had to pick me up off the ground." was like,
Yeah, because he
yeah.
was like, I'm seeing Elton, but Elton did this farewell tour. And you're like, we all want to see Elton again, but Elton did the farewell tour already. It was a 3 year like tour. I
Mhm.
think I had a friend from college that was on that tour and participated in that tour. So I love to follow them on social media and be like, they'd be like backstage in Spain, backstage, and you know what I mean? I was like, but I hear the Papa was like, am I about to see legendary? And you're like so close, and yet just a little step over.
Yeah. And I think there's only one member of ABBA still with us, maybe.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, I love ABBA. I imagine that in the tribute there were, like you said, costumes. ABBA wasn't just big for their music, they're big for their like costume extravaganza
Yes.
party train.
I also learned that there is an ABBA song that you, me, and Michelle will be singing at a bridesmaid party of, you know, of
Someday.
her. Yes. And I was,
Okay.
oh, okay.
I'll be
I didn't know
honest
I
with
will
you.
start to prepare for this. You
Thank
know.
you. I'm not sure. This is my big energy right here. I'm coming in hard and hot right now. I am so confident in my ABBA songs that I'm like, I'm going to say I won't have to prepare more than a week. And y'all, I like to prepare. I'm like the actress in rehearsal that was like, she's still running lines. Like I'll run lines to the day. But this is like I know ABBA so well that I'm like, I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
All right. That makes me feel better. Michelle and I will practice. I just need to learn a little bit of the words, you
Okay.
know. I tend to know some choruses and then I make them up as
Yeah, sure, sure.
so but now that I know this, we shall prepare. We
You
shall.
know what? Speaking of words that we're changing the words to, songs that we may change the words to, I was singing because I was so excited. I feel like I know you are magic, and I was so excited about us connecting today. So I was walking around the house, and I was like, and I started to sing. Uh, I think it reminds me of a song from Pitch Perfect, but I know the words are so not right. And I sing, I've got the magic in me. I got the magic, baby. But I'm like, I I have the magic in me. You have the magic in me. You put the magic in me. Somewhere somebody is I think there's a key piece to the song that is wrong. Cause I'm like, are people really putting magic in you? Then it sounds sexual. I'm not sure
Is
that
it
it
Bruno
is. You're
Mars?
putting the magic in
24
me.
hour gold. Is it Bruno Mars?
I'm not sure. So I look forward to the producer telling me that nobody is putting like the song isn't we're putting magic in each other. Are we putting magic in each other? Is
Yes.
that the song, or just that I've got magic?
I think it's 24 karat magic. I think it's Bruno
Oh,
Mars. 24 karat gold.
oh no, it's definitely not that. I like that song.
Put the
I'm gonna.
magic in me.
Oh
24.
no, it is. I just looked up the lyrics.
It's Bruno, right?
Uh, I think it's lyrics by
You know,
B.O.B.
if Bruno
B.O.B.
is out
I've
there
got
listening to
magic
our
in me.
podcast, I would
Oh, I
really
see.
love to go see Bruno Mars, and so would Shannon Mahoney. The tickets are really expensive, and what
Okay,
would you
first, real
learn the
quick,
words to your song?
B.O.B. Sorry, B.O.B. I got magic in me. So I got the magic in me. I've got magic in me, but you're not putting magic in me. There's a
No,
big difference.
I've got the
You've got the magic in me is not the words. It's I've got magic in me. You're not putting magic in me. Thank you.
no. That's the theme of all of our work. We're putting
I've
the
got
magic
magic.
in ourselves. We don't
I,
need anybody else's magic.
no. And that feels like it's a sexy talk. Like it's like you want me to put some magic in you, and you're like, "Rar, do I?" No, I've got my own magic.
Well,
You
it is
keep your
Bruno
magic to
Mars.
your, and I'm magicking over here, but you're not putting any magic in me. Got it.
We are talking about Bruno Mars. He has a lot of magic to spread around. I think he is talking about that.
No, but this song isn't by Bruno Mars. Your song is by Bruno Mars. The song I'm singing is not by Bruno
Not?
Mars.
Who's it by?
B.O.B. B is in
Oh.
Bob, O.B. So your Bruno Mars song has magic. I hear you, but mine's a different song. You're welcome.
B.O.B. Bob.
Bob, join us, friends, as Jennifer and I learn to communicate. Oh, we got it. We got it. We got it over here.
Oh, I don't
Uh,
even know this song.
it's okay. I'm gonna draw a heart around it. Splash, splash, splash. Happy birthday. Boom. Got it. Got it. I love that you're like, no, we're talking about Bruno Mars. No, 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 we're not. You are. I'm over
No.
here in a
And then I
different life.
segues into trying to get us tickets.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. But tickets
That's for
to
what
any
you do.
concert are expensive.
There's
Mhm.
been no drinking. We're at noon today, just so you know, audience.
Yeah, thank you.
It's
We're at
normal.
noon. Yeah. We're perfectly fine. Everything's fine over here. Everything is fine.
You know, thinking of ridiculous things. I know you have a ridiculous story to share. You must.
Oh,
Yeah.
I do. Thank you for reminding me. I do have a story to share. Are you ready? Or are you going to tell me your thing?
No.
Okay.
I wanted to hear your story. I'm just trying to center myself
Yeah,
from.
please. And thank you. Thank you. So, y'all, uh, my cat I call Ladybird. Lover with a love for an animal that I have never had in my whole life. Man, other people have loved animals and they have a connection to animals, but I just never have until I got this COVID cat. And this, my love, like I all of a sudden I was like, oh, I get it. Like I was like, I'll do anything for this cat. You know, like I mean, I love this cat. So Ladybird, in the morning, go out. I go to my little garden. I'm making, watering things. Ladybird, hot to trot, comes inside. The hubby says, she's got a mouse. She's got a mouse. Her eyes are big circles. We try to corner her. He's like, go over here. I'm going over here. We're cornering her. And she is not giving up on her friend. Like this friend is her friend for life. She's not going to let it go. So Kirk wants to pick up Ladybird and carry Ladybird and this mouse. I think it might have been a rat, but let's just call it a mouse because a mouse sounds cute, right? Like, oh, we've got a mouse is way better than I've got a rat. Okay, so I'm gonna say mouse, but y'all know I'm talking about a rat. Okay, so she's got it. She drops it on the ground because we're gonna pick her up, and then it kind of plays possum, and then she bites on it. It goes and then she throws it in the air. It goes 5 feet in the air. It lands on its feet, and it's like, bitch, please. And then it takes off running. Like it was pretending it wasn't alive, but it was alive the whole time. And it takes off, and chaos ensues in our house. Hubby is running one place. I'm running the other. We are trying to track it. He says, get a bucket.
Oh,
I'm like,
God.
I grab Tupperware. He's like, bigger from Home Depot. So I go outside. I get the big old bucket from Home Depot. I'm running around the house trying to get it. It goes under the refrigerator. Okay. At this point, Lady Bird has left us. That bitch has left us. And she is no longer interested in her toy and her treat, her friend. She's gone away. We're pulling out the fridge. I'm looking for it. I can see it. At this point, I realize how disgusting behind my fridge is, and I make a note that we're going to clean it later. Carry on. So then the mouse runs out and it's running around the shoes. I'm starting to build a shoe barricade quite quickly. Hubby is throwing shoes. He says, please communicate more clearly. I can't seem to find any words other than severe grunting. And then the mouse runs under the record player and he goes, go get your cat. Go get your cat. As if we cannot do this alone anymore. So I go upstairs and I say, come here now. She doesn't care. So I pick her up, I bring her downstairs. She flattens her body out to get underneath the record player in a way that I didn't even know this animal could get to. Like, just almost became like liquid going underneath the record player. That scares the rodent. The rodent runs out. Me and the rodent start chasing. I'd start chasing it down. I had left the side sliding door open and it runs into the wall, boinks back, and then runs out the sliding glass door because I had left it open.
Closed it.
At this point, Jen, I'm hearing I'm hearing a hero's tribute playing in the background. A hero's tribute for myself. Like there's horns, there's celebration, there's
That's
banners. I'm like, and the hubby comes up and he goes, great job keeping the sliding glass door open. That was a stroke of genius. I'm like, genius and hero. Like if I had feathers, they would have been peacocked up. Oh, I was puffed up. But I wasn't the only one. Lady Bird was puffed up too. She walked around like I called it Ben Franklin energy. You know, like there's Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote many songs for Hamilton that didn't quite make it into the cut, and one of them was a song about Benjamin Franklin that he ended up giving to the Decemberists. And it says, do you know who the fuck I am? And I felt like Lady Bird was walking around like, do you know who the fuck I am? Do you know who the fuck I am? And I was like, yes, yes, I see you. Just
first name
strutting.
Lady, last name Bird.
That's right. So that was the mass excitement that we had this week in our house. And to let you know, I did clean the back of my refrigerator. It is so clean and beautiful.
Mhm.
And then Ladybird, maybe not the smartest cat, spent the next 2 to 3 hours, like occasionally just like hanging out, looking at the record player, sure that the friend was coming back, not even realizing it had left the house. So smart. She's so good. So good.
That's quite an adventure, my friend.
I know. Yeah. So I was thinking
Terrifying.
about it and I was like, is this a sign from the universe that says to me, make sure you're not picking up on that mouse energy? And then I was like, rat energy? And I was like, no, 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 mouse energy.
Mhm.
Watch your mouse energy. And mouse energy, friends, is when we are frantic, we're running into walls, we're busy, 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 without really taking the time because mice are always running, always moving. So we're spending all of our energy in lower areas as opposed to spending our time in places where we actually need. So I like to think that the universe was like, watch that mouse energy, Mahoney, watch that mouse energy. In fact, I'm going to give you a mouse. I'm going to put it in your house. And me and the hubby were like, bing, 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 all over the place. That's mouse energy. Us chasing a mouse was mouse energy.
Mhm. Yeah.
So something to think about this week as I think about where I'm spending my energy and what I'm doing. Watch that mouse energy, Mahoney. And all of you watch your mouse energy as well.
But I also heard hubby say, "Can we communicate clearly?" So, hey, asking for what you need in the
Yeah,
moment, that's huge.
yeah. Let me know if you're going left, then I'll go right. Let me know if you're like it's over here, as opposed to just zoning in and not even using your words, but just kind of zoning in. Okay. So
Yeah.
this is the theme of my week, communication. I have another little situation. So yesterday we decided to go out and about. I bring in stuff down the stairs to leave the house. I'm going to take the stuff in the car. I've put it all downstairs. I've piled it up. I walk out the door with my first trip. Hubby walks past me, locks the front door. I go, "Ugh," in my head. I go, but then he doesn't hear that part. That's me in my head. I go, where, I still have stuff in the house. I'm still unloading. If you would like to help me. What? He's like, if I would like to help you, like, do you want me to help you? If you would like to help me, like my face, like attitude, full on. He's like, would you like me to help you? And I was like, yes, clearly I've stacked all this stuff up. Can you not read my mind? It is stacked. There are visual aids. I shouldn't have to use words if I've got visual.
Mm-hmm.
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 Use your words, use your words, use your words. Communication, communication, communication. Oh,
Yeah,
it's hard.
it is. It's that part of emotional intelligence. You think of emotional intelligence and you only think of like, you hear the word emotions and you think, oh, it's all of that woo-woo stuff. But it's self-awareness, it's emotional regulation,
Yeah,
conflict resolution, it's communication, it's all of those things that you need. Um, Very interesting, right?
right. And the fact that, thinking about like, why is communication like, you don't become like a master of communication and then you put a little checkbox, like check it or ting,
Mhm.
and then it goes away. You know what I mean? And then it's never on your list again. It's like, oh, sorry. Fun little fact. Communication will be a struggle. You are not going to master communication. You're not going to get like your master's, like a degree. It's like you are going to be the master of communication in your life. It's like, even if that was what you got your degree in college, like, it's like you're not getting you don't like graduate out of that in life. Like, you don't get to go, oh, thank goodness, I've learned that lesson. I'm done with it. Let's move on to the next one. It's like, oh, it just becomes more complex. And especially with the ones you love, you sometimes feel like you can communicate without using words. You can look at each other at a party. I can look at even you across the room. We can both nod at each other and go, uh-huh, yeah, got it. Right? There are so many times in our life where there are no words for communication. There are just looks, right? Or you read somebody's body language and you get it. But it never, ever takes away from the fact that we have got to articulate and find our words, and why it was so hard for me to go, um, can you can you help me? I need help. And even you heard me, I don't really want to ask for help. It makes me itchy. It makes me uncomfortable. I want you to just read my mind.
Well, when you said that, the what I heard, and it's probably because that's what I'm working on, when you were like, if you would like to help me, and that if you that
If you would like to help me,
it's resentment, right? That is
yeah,
built up resentment right there from years of not asking for what you need, and like you said, having those unspoken expectations or assumption that that other person is just going to be self-aware enough to look out for not only themselves but everyone else, right? And
yeah,
that's the part of like I am working on. I used to think, oh, I just want to get rid of all of my resentment because you don't know when you're building up resentment, right? It's not like you're like, oh, there's some resentment. I'm just going to push that down and then I'll worry about it later. It's you push it down and you suppress it and you suppress it
yeah,
until it pops out. And, then you look like, people look at you like a crazy person or
yeah.
you're like, where has this come from? Right? Because you've suppressed all that for so long. And I used to think I just wanted to get rid of it. Now, that resentment is like my best friend. It's the little red flag that I'm like, oh, when I hear that, I'm like, oh, then I back it up and I think, Jen, you've been suppressing something that you needed to say, and there's that resentment right there. And so that's my flag to try to catch it and think, okay, there's a point that you did not say something that you needed. And so, you know, now you've suppressed that and now you're projecting that resentment on that other person. And I think that's what people don't get is that self-awareness is not, or even a leadership position. You talk about a leadership position. I just came from a great leadership conference, but I had so much inspiration afterwards because there was a lot of talking about what good leaders do, the behaviors of a good leader. But I also think that good leaders are always self-reflecting and they are always coaching themselves. It's not
Mm,
about coaching the other person, or right? It's about, can you coach yourself? You're the teacher for when the student appears, right? So if you're in a leadership position, you are constantly working on, you know, how do you how do you come up when you've made a mistake? What do you do when you've made a mistake? And how can you think of that when you are coaching someone that is making mistakes and you are trying to coach them on different strategies they could use or different, but that is all about your own self-awareness work, right?
mm,
You're not coaching that other person. You're talking from what you have been through. So
mm.
you can't be so reflected out that you're not working on your own because that's where good leadership comes from working and modeling from within.
Ooh, girl,
Hmm.
that's some good stuff.
Yeah, that I was kind of fired up, and there was one because I think we always talk about, what do we do as good leaders? Well, we connect with people, we create psychological safety, all of the behaviors that we do, but you don't know that unless you know how to create psychological safety for yourself, right? If you are a leader and you're talking to someone and you're not creating that safe space, like you don't feel safe, and that person leaves the room, and then your suspicious mind starts going, then how can you create safety for that other person? Because you can't even create safety for yourself.
Ooh.
How can you coach somebody through a mistake if you can't be vulnerable enough to say, hey, I made a mistake here, and this is how I picked myself up?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where are the classes on that? Where are the
Yeah.
classes on, being that vulnerable it's not about what other people do or how to hold other people accountable. It's that. And then in that same conference, I heard little side conversations like, hey, I have a really tough staff this year. Like, how are we going to, what should I do? And then I heard conversations of, it's hard. That happened to me. You just have to get through it. And I'm like, this is the part right here that level that we don't always see. Like we inspire leaders to go out and like affirm like their great strengths. You have to have courage, you have to have clarity, and you have to have this. And yes, those are all great things. But when you're focused out on coaching that person, you have to you have to walk in it yourself, right? Your values have to align because that
Mm.
other person has to be able to think, oh, this person's been through it, they're going to help me. That's how
Yeah.
you create that psychological trust right there. It's not
Yeah.
being out and saying, oh, I'm going to be a great listener. It's from someone knowing that, hey, I'm going to ask Shannon for some help, and I know that I can trust Shannon, and Shannon and I are going to walk through this. It's not like I'm afraid to go to Shannon because Shannon, might do this, or she's going to see me as not this, or, she's going to talk to then I'm trying
Mm.
to cover up. I'm trying to,
Right.
you know what I mean? I just feel like it's that self-awareness part that I don't think we that's that next layer that I think eventually we do have to get to, because it's not always about the other person. It's about who we are.
I think it always starts with us. It always starts with us being the first one to say, and in a meeting, being the first one to go, I don't know what that means. I don't know. I don't, I don't understand what we're talking about, or I don't know what that is. Being the first one to show. And I think that kind of vulnerability of showing who you are, or going, even hearing you say like other leaders going, I have a tough staff this year, like even helps to hear that, because you want to go like immediately that calms me down, and I want to go, you have a tough staff too, because I thought I was only one. I thought I was in a boat in the middle of the ocean without any oars by myself. And it's like, you all are feeling the same way. Okay. How do we get to where we need to be in a place? Because we can't lead them when we're all thinking, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. So I would say, when is the last time you've been in a tough situation where you had to lead in uncertainty? Because we've
Mm,
done it before.
yeah.
Or not even, leading. It's like, when was the last time you were in uncertainty? And how did you keep that mindset and uncertainty open to possibilities?
Well, I fail all the time at this. And failure, I mean that not in the sense of like, boo, Shannon, right? You suck. I don't mean it like that. I mean like I don't want to sit here and go, listen, let me tell you about how I navigated it, like in a job interview, or you talk about like, yes, I've been through challenges and this is how I navigate them. Like my liability is actually my opportunity, but it's like where I take 4 steps forward, 17 steps back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And the pursuit is always there. The pursuit is always there. Um, there are times where I think, even in my personal relationships, where we're talking, and I'm like, yesterday, the hubby and I were having a conversation at lunch. He's really smart. He was using vocabulary words. I don't even know what they mean. I don't know what we're talking. I mean, like, I had to stop the conversation twice and go, what does that word mean? Or can you give me another word for that? Can you give me some adjectives for that? So that's like, again, I know we're talking about leading. That's not necessarily leading, but talking about, I don't know. And then taking that little practice here and then using it in your leadership roles of going, if your team member or they're technically below you says something, knows something, being able to say, I don't know what that means. I
Mhm.
think that starts to open the room up to be able to start to go, well, if you don't know, then I'd like to raise my hand and go, I don't know how we're going to do this. I
Then
don't
I,
know how we're going to navigate this.
Mhm.
So I think it's like, as a leader for myself, I'm leading a team, and then I have all of these other team members underneath me. I'm starting to go, I don't know what that is, or walk me through that. I think it starts to show that there are moments where we're all on the same level, and then I'm not holding myself above, but I'm also listening to make sure I have see the whole picture before I can make an informed decision. So
Yeah.
I'm practicing in my daily life.
And what I heard in that, what I heard in that, the reframe that came to my mind in that was moving from I don't know what that means to, can you can you define what that word means to you?
Mm. I like
to
that.
that other person, right? Because that
Hmm.
is a much more curious way to ask the question because we all perceive meanings of things a different way.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yes. Because then you've just come from not an imposter like stance of, hey, I'm having trouble keeping up because this person's using different words than I use. It's more like, I am so curious. What does that word mean to you? Like,
Mm,
you know what I mean? And then it's,
yeah.
you're giving that person the opportunity to save more. It's not coming from a lack of, you're just
Mm,
more curious.
oh, I like that. Thank you. What does that word mean to you?
Yeah.
But sometimes I just don't know what the word means at all.
That's okay. You're
Yeah.
going to learn from the context of what it means to that person. I mean, look
Hmm.
how many words mean different things. And now
Yeah.
we don't even know. I mean, back in the day, we had Pig Latin. Remember Pig Latin? I don't even remember how to do it now. I couldn't even like try, but that's the what we used when we were trying to like, say things our parents didn't
I
understand.
keep hearing like ixnay on the ishe, but I remember it was like, like I think it was like you take the first word like
Yeah.
ixnay, don't say. I think that's like ixnay on the but something like that. But
Yeah.
all I remember is
Whatever it
X.
was, it wasn't sly like it is now. Now I got to ask people about what,
Yeah.
I'm not
Get off my
trained to
back
do that.
versus go to the back. Hmm.
But I mean, if you're leading and you're looking at people that are, scared of not being able to control outcomes or not being able to, afraid of vulnerability or afraid of change or all of those things, then a leader has to look at, hey, when is the time that I have felt like that, and what did
Hmm.
I do in that I think a lot of times we often look at what can I make this other person do? And leading is really about who we are, right? And it's not about doing it perfectly because you're not going to do it, but it's about you're doing it repeatedly and you're doing it like we've talked about in the small areas because that is going to
Yeah.
be a big difference.
In the book No Ego, I don't know if you've read it. We read it for one of the leadership classes that I participated in, and part of the book No Ego, and I would say everybody, this is a good book. It's a good book. It's a bite-sized book. I've got it tucked in underneath right over here. I have two copies of it, one that I write all over. I even have the audio copy of it. Are they sponsoring the show? No, it's just a good book. uh, but No Ego talks about preparing your team for change. And I think about that Friends episode where they're taking the couch up the stairs and Ross is shouting, pivot, pivot, right? And if you watch the outtakes, the actors are losing it. They're like closing their eyes, they're crying. And they're like, okay, let's shoot it again. And he's like, pivot. And they're like, he's just shouting it. But the book talks about are, as a leader, if you're leading your family, you're leading a team at your work. Who are you leading? You're leading your community. But like, are you preparing your team for change? And this really was a wow for me because it said everything is always going to change. Every one of us, business is changing. It's always changing. This year, we're going to have a change. This in 3 months, next quarter, next semester, whatever you work through, quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, whatever business you're in, it's like we're experiencing a new change. We're rolling out a new product line. We're having problems. We're going to have decreases. We're whatever. I could go on and on. Is your team prepared for change? Because what you're running against, right? You keep running against it, is the team going, I can't handle this change. And they're crossing their arms, they're shaking their head, their shoulders go up. We can't handle it. It's too much. It's too much change. And it's like, there, we are never not going to have change. Change is always going to be there. So, how do you prepare your team for change? How do you give them the tools for change? And then, as you, as a leader, going, I'm preparing for change. Am I preparing my team for change? And that was really like really powerful piece of that book and going, and are you prepared for change?
Mm-hmm.
Because you think you're flexible, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm like, if you called me up and said, girl, get ready, I'll be at your house in 10 minutes, let's go. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm ready for change. That's me. I'm a change girl. You can call me anytime. I'll just put on a hat and we're out the door. I'll grab my favorite lip gloss. Boom, done. But then when we go, okay, we're changing this process. I'm like, what the what? No, we have a process. There's a process,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm not flexible anymore. I dug my heels in. I'm like the Flintstones when they're driving the car with no shoes on, their feet. Are
Yeah.
you crazy? That's too much change.
Yes.
Not changing the process. I can change for fun.
Yes. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not really about the change.
Mm-mm.
It's
What's
something
it
that's
about, Jen?
underneath that. Well, that's what you have to find, right?
Yeah,
The fear. It's the fear of something. There's a shadow there, there's a fear there, you know?
yeah.
So,
Fear of losing control, fear of losing your value, fear of losing your worth, fear that you don't belong anymore, that you don't matter, that you aren't going to be essential piece of this process and this team.
and when you're, and that's different for everybody, you know? That's different. Like, how do you personally, as a leader, deal with fear? You know, some people avoid and run. And we've talked a lot about what we do in fear is that we pour ourselves into other people and we avoid. So, but yet people that avoid trigger us because it's the lesson that we need to learn. So it's like, where in your life do you avoid? You know,
Yeah.
your life,
Hmm.
do you hold that mask up, right?
Yeah.
And how can you bring that mask down? I have a ridiculous story.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, please.
so uh, Jennifer has spent a lot of time this summer, with medical appointments. And, Jennifer has been under anesthesia a couple of times this summer. And everything's fine, and everything's fine. But I will
But
say,
sometimes you gotta check all those medical appointments off. And usually it's like, I'm just gonna knock it out in one day. You all know about that, right? Where you're
yeah,
like, I gotta go get my boobies checked. I gotta go get my this. You just check it all off. We don't need to break it all down for you, but you know what you're checking off.
yeah. And Jennifer's calendar thinks, oh, this is not a problem. I can do this. And then I can, I'll get the message, hey, don't overbook yourself. And what do I do is I overbook myself. So I have to get, a colonoscopy. And I think that it's in the day, and I think afterwards this is going to be a no problem. I'm going to go listen to a band afterwards because it's going to be like 8 o'clock at night. This is happening way earlier in the day. This is not going to be a problem, right? But I'm like, I don't have to, and the daughter, she's a rule follower. She's read all these rules and she's like, these are the rules. This is not going to be able to happen. I was like, it's going to happen, no problem. But,
Yeah,
Jennifer doesn't want to tell the people that what she's going to do because what is it of anybody else's business what I do? I'm going to keep that.
yeah,
So Jennifer does it. She wakes up, and of course, what has Jennifer done? Under the propanol or the juice they give you, she has spilled it. So the nurse says after I'm waking up, honey, you're not going to be able to go to the bar to see the band. And I'm like, how does this lady know? You know
yeah.
what?
How does
Jennifer
she
has
know?
Jennifer has spilled the juice. More goes on. I'm going to be vulnerable and tell you that Jennifer is a late night snacker. I get snacks in the middle of the night and I don't really
Too.
know. Well, I must have in this colonoscopy prep snacked or something. Jennifer has to do the colonoscopy again. There's something. So this time she has to double dose the prep. Yes. So because okay, so we do the whole thing again, right? We do the
Hmm.
whole thing again, but the prep is awful. And now I have been, but I don't know if I've done this, but this is what the child thinks that I have done is I've eaten something because they said, something's up, we have to do it again. Fine.
So,
So now
so
I
just to
have,
jump in real quick, folks, if y'all are too young to know this because you're just gorgeously like good for you, but at a certain point we're going to do a little colonoscopy. You have to start like day 5, day 7 before the whole thing starts. There's a whole diet regimen that leads up to this process. Okay, so in that you got to follow the rules. You got to drink the juice. You got to drink the blah. You got to no eat this, no eat that. The list is long. Okay, so
drank
Jen's
the
in
juice.
round 2.
Yes, I drank the juice. I did all of that stuff. This time, Jennifer's taking all these pills. So Jennifer does all of it. Nobody's home. Jennifer has to be so truthful. And nobody is here to watch because
Okay.
everybody is gone. So I have to do this whole like 6 day, 7 day prep thing by myself.
Okay.
I take out everything. I'm trying to be truthful, right? Like
Yeah.
God, like I take out everything in the house. I take all the things in, and then my sister is like, "What if you did?" The suspicious mind starts. What if you got up in the middle of the night and you ate something, and then this? She goes, "I think you should go to the store and get 2 bottles of that mag citrate that's like the 10 ounce and drink them." And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. That seems like
Yeah.
I've already taken these 24 pills in 2 days. I took 24 in one day, 24 in this day. And now, but the sister has put it in my mind. And I'm like, oh, what if
That
it, what if I
you
did?
need to level up even more than what the doctor said. Doctor sister, who is has no medical license but is a doctor on
Yes.
TV. No, not on real TV, but yeah. So Doctor Sissy has said you got to just take it one more level up just to be real sure.
Yes. And so she plants these seeds of suspicion. And then, I'm not thinking correctly. I'm starving. It's been like, days. All I've had is stupid jello and, broth, which is nothing. And here's the thing. I can usually like go for, whatever. I don't need a lot. I eat like little snacks. But when someone tells me that I cannot do something,
Yeah.
I want to do it more than anything. It's that part of, and this should be another podcast when winners don't win, or when someone, you know what I mean? It's that don't tell me what I can do. It's that, so anyway, I'm like, oh, that I want to eat so bad. You know what I mean? Like I want to eat so bad. And so sister gets in my head. So I go to the store and I buy 2 of the bottles, right? Buy some extra toilet paper because sister says that it's going to be terrible. So I
Doctor
drink the
sister.
bottle
Doctor sister.
and then I drink the second bottle, right? And then
Yeah.
I go to the place and then I'm filling out the paperwork and it says, "Did you take anything else except for the," I don't remember this question. The
Yeah.
first time I've done this, so I'm like,
Did you take anything other than what I told you to take?
yes. And now I'm nervous. Now I'm
Yeah.
nervous. There's nobody here because I just got dropped off and I'm like, so what does Jennifer do? She says, no, I lied. I lied. And it's bothering me and it's bothering me. And I don't say anything and I keep going and I go all through the thing. And then, I get out. And what is the first thing that the nurse says? So you drank 2 bottles of Mexican. I told all the secrets again. All the secrets again. Yes.
You're saying your secrets while you're under, like you're like as you're going under
Or
anesthesia.
coming out. Or coming out. Who knows? Who knows?
You're having your Goonies moment where you're like in 3rd grade. I lied about this. I snuck in, got some ice cream in fourth grade. Like you're having a Goonies moment.
Yes, yes. And you know me, I always think everything is about energy and lessons. I'm like, what is the lesson in this? Because it's like, if you avoid or if you do little lies, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? In little areas, it's like, oh, comes back always full circle moment.
Well, first of all, thank you. But like, I love that. Like, let's get to the point of like, you decide, you look at the medical orders and you're like,
Hmm.
tried and true. Folks, I think I don't know how many colonoscopies happen every year in the United States, but I imagine the number is high, right? Super, super high. That number's up there. But you like, yes, doctor's orders, respect, respect. But then you listen to Dr. Sissy.
Yeah,
Dr.
it's a
Sissy,
suspicious mind.
yeah,
Gets in, right?
and then you it like you absorb it. You're like, you're right.
What if? What if? What if? And think of that in a leadership position. I know it's a crazy
No, but it's not. That's
metaphor, but your
mhm.
people on the staff, somebody comes up and says, what if? What if
What
this?
if,
What if
what
that?
if,
It's
what if?
those backdoor conversations, those side door conversations.
Yes.
But what side door conversations are you having?
Right.
Right?
No, that's
Or
such a good point, Jen. It's going like that made me so excited. I shook my whole TV. I mean, the whole monitors and everything. But yeah, like you got a plan. You as a leader, you've thought it out. You've got it going on, and then you have Dr. Sissy, Dr. So and so, blah 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 blah, engineer,
yeah, and I don't want to do it again.
scientist,
I don't like this.
mathematician,
I'm in
control.
fear. I
Right.
hate this. You know
You
what?
better get, and all of a sudden the plan goes, you go, this is a tried and true plan. This is what we've established. And then you're like, at the 11th hour, or it's the fourth quarter, we've got 2 minutes left on the clock. And you're like, you know what?
Where am I going? CVS for mag citrate and toilet paper.
You know what I'm doing? I'm doubling down on this. And it's like, what shook you, leader? What shook you to the point that you deviated from the plan at the final hour? And why do we do that? Why do we do that, Jen? Why do we do that? We had the plan. We know the plan. It's that moment where we just
I didn't trust
like, do we
myself.
doubt? Like, we doubt we're enough.
I
We
didn't trust
doubt
myself.
that yeah.
I don't want to do
Mm,
it again. I didn't trust that, you know what I mean? I stepped in that.
yeah.
And who cares if I have to? I mean, I did it again. I had to do
Oh,
it again. I was in the again.
yeah.
Now, I
Yeah.
really don't want to do it again. And I don't have to because it's all done. Stop.
Right. Like, we really don't have to again. But how do we take the input that we're getting and the input's coming, almost like the input is coming to the point where you almost have to put on headphones, right? Like the input's coming d- depending on if you're leading a team of one or two, leading a team in your household, you're leading your family and you got a couple folks, or you're leading, 100 people as a leader. How do you listen, authentically listen, but that the noise gets so loud that you stay true to yourself and go, I'm listening to you. I hear you. Thank you all for your input.
Yes.
Here is the decision I've made.
So you know what that class is? That
Mm.
class is called self-awareness for the leader. It's
Ooh,
not about what you're doing for the other person. It's how, as you, as a leader, in those moments, can you trust yourself? When all of that invisible army, they, the rumors are saying, the rumblings are saying, this is what this is.
self-awareness for the leader.
How can you sit there and, is there self-awareness there? Or is there a mask of, confident and courage and, but what's underneath?
And this doesn't even apply like right now. I was just thinking about like this this is such a powerful thing to think about. And if you're like in a place audience where you're going like I don't know what to do with my career. I don't know. I don't know what to do right now. Y'all are talking about leadership. That doesn't apply to me. I'm not even in a career or in a place where I want to be right now. And it's like, but you're the leader of your life.
Yes.
You are always a leader.
Yes.
You're in a leadership role. We're all in a leadership role. So, how do you find self awareness for yourself, for your career, for your life, for your family? So, it doesn't mean like if you don't have director behind your title, if you don't have VP behind your title, it's like you're a leader for yourself.
Yes. You want to
You
start
are you are the
moving mountains?
president of your own corporation.
Yes. You want to
Mhm.
start moving mountains? You want to start, being a lighthouse in this world? Then you need to work on yourself. And
Yep.
that's taking that mask off. And I do that work every day in my coaching business, and you do it every day in your HR business. I mean, I do
Yep.
it some in education too, but it's different. It's
I
different
think we
because
I
a
think we
lot of
do it
people are
all.
not ready to work on themselves. They're too busy pointing and blaming, and that's okay. But that is what makes me so passionate. And I can see that because the more I work on myself,
Mhm.
more I can do for everybody else.
Well, and the more I work on self, right, I start to see it in my life. And then I find myself in a career that I'm excited about,
Mhm,
in a relationship that I'm passionate about.
mhm.
I have a friend and friends that I am proud of that lift me up, right? And then I have my community. And so the world starts to feel different because this world isn't getting easier,
No.
right? This is life is hard, 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 right? We've all getting back to that no ego book. We are preparing for change all the time,
Mhm.
right? Yesterday, the day that I woke up with the mouse in my house was not the day I planned for. I didn't plan for that morning. I planned for a little coffee, a little gardening, go to work, ma. No, I did not plan for that. That was not the day I planned for. You did not plan for your first colonoscopy to be like, sorry, girl, we got to do it again. We did not plan for that. We don't plan for chaos. We don't wake up and go, I hope I have a day of chaos. Chaos just happens. And then you don't make it through the end of the day and go, I made it without any bumps in the road today. Yes. No. None of us have ever
Happen.
done that.
Yeah.
Somebody cuts you off in traffic. So, right, life is just going to keep happening. So, are we preparing for pivot? Are we preparing ourselves to have that? And are we having that self-awareness?
I will tell you that uh when Shannon was down, a crow, there
Oh
was a
yeah.
dead crow in my front yard. And so they came back, Shannon, and they mourned. They squawked and they squawked, like you said, because crows mourn for their own. And then we
Oh,
put it in the flower bed. It's gone from the flower bed. And there was one crow feather that was left. And so I wasn't sure, but I did get some peanuts and I put some peanuts outside. And then I went outside in the backyard and I put some peanuts all around and two little like shiny, I made Dad and I drink a beer so we could take the beer cups and give it to the crows. No crows
yeah.
taking it yet, but we're
I
gonna try
love
to befriend the crows and see if they bring us things.
I love this. I know. Yeah, that there
Sister's
was
not happy about this though. She feels like I shouldn't feed. She says I'm feeding the wrong birds.
who is
Sister.
Sissy, Dr. Sissy,
Yeah.
Dr. Sis. Dr. Sissy says no. Mm-mm. I crows are so interesting to me. So like that Jen having a crow that like a dead and crows are big, right? You don't realize, like you're looking at the hummingbird, you're looking at like a little finch, and then you see like this big bird, you're like, this is a big bird in my yard that is just like, like a creature that has passed on. So
Yeah.
you're like, okay. But I want to. We all hear about that murder of crows. That's what a group of crows is called, a murder, and they're like, and they're smart, so they can recognize faces. They have facial recognition. They're intelligent creatures, and I love that sister's like, listen, like almost like in sister's mind, like the animal kingdom is has like a hierarchy, and like the crows are part of it, like our mafia, right? Like sister's like, listen, you don't want to, I'm going to put on a bad like New Jersey, New York accent. You don't want to get in business with the crows,
Yes.
right?
Well, that's how, her perception of a crow is. My perception of a crow is much different. I love that the
Imagine.
ravens mate for life. I think that is the sweetest thing. What is the difference between a crow and a raven? The beak?
That is their size and their coloring. And I'm sure our producer is going to take a deep dive. Ravens are actually bigger. They only travel with their mate. If you see a raven, like three ravens, that's an offspring, or like, one of their offspring or one of their juveniles. But really, raven is like mom and dad, we're going to go see this world, and this is our area, and the crows travel together. So you're like, you're driving around, you're like, why are there so many of those? And they're big. They're not as big as ravens. Ravens are bigger.
Well, the crows live in my redwood trees I have in the front yard, and
Like
there's a
lots of
murder
them.
of them because they were very sad and unhappy. But it didn't look like the
Oh.
crow was hurt or anything. And
No, I agree. It didn't look like a raccoon or anything got it. It just looked like it passed away from old age
yeah,
or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I like to always think about like anytime, whether it's the mouse rodent that comes in my house or butterflies or like finding those symbols, right, Jen? We've talked about this in nature and thinking about like what would a crow symbolize? So I remember we looked it up and it's like this is like new beginnings. Like there is a new beginning happening.
Yes, yes.
Which there is, people, new beginnings,
New beginnings are happening this very day on my birthday because there's lunar nodes are changing, if you believe,
right?
you know.
Yeah, we won't get too zhuzh for you, but if you're feeling a little witchy, thinking about we got a birthday celebration, we got big energy happening today. Well, what are you doing to celebrate this fab day? Last night
Uh,
you went to a concert. What you doing today?
yes, we are gonna go watch the professional Angel women's soccer team later on today up in LA.
Ooh, that's gonna be good. And Jen, I forgot to ask you, fair food? Yeah, did you do some fair food last night when you went to the concert, or we're like, nah?
Yes, we had I took bites off you know, the child's. We had churros and of
Ooh,
course we shared kettle corn
yep.
and then taquitos.
Ooh, that's right.
Hmm.
That's right. I'm going to
Then
the
I got
fair.
a what is that? What
Hmm.
is that? It's not 7 Up that I love so much, but it's like sassy.
Oh, Slurpee.
It's a sassy drink. It's a mouth. Does anybody know what that drink is? Oh, the editor will put it on here. I want to say
I
it's
want to say it's sassy. What is that drink? It's called the
maybe it's
sass.
starry. Starry? Sassy.
Sorry. Magic. You got a magic coffee drink?
I got a magic coffee
Happy
drink.
birthday,
Thank
magic.
you, editor. Hmm.
Little magic coffee
It's your
today.
birthday. It's your birthday.
Mm, 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 mm,
I
mm.
love birthdays.
I do too. And I love it when that coffee fairy brings magic coffee that just like slides into screen and you're like, what? A fresh cup just for me? Thank you, and please I will.
Yes, and
Mm-hmm.
this means a lot.
I know.
This
I
means a
think
lot, editor.
it means a lot. Birthday. I too am going to the fair this week and thinking about the fair food, the fair party, and also to how to stand the heat when you
Oh,
go. Was that a part of it? Like, did you have to like have cool thoughts or like because first of all, the food amazing, but sometimes you're so hot that you're like, I can't enjoy this fair food. So it's like you're with a group and you're like, you get the corn, we'll all taste the corn, or one churro because it's too hot.
I'm probably gonna get in trouble when I send dad back to sister because I want to eat Yogurtland every night for dinner. I don't want anything hot. I just want, and I'm like, I'm terrible at it. But yes, it was so hot. It was 109. We did a little errand, and it was 109. And then dad and I came back and we watched um the Curse of Oak Island and took a little nap and we didn't go to like the very end. I was like, we're not gonna go until right before the concert
Yeah,
starts at like 7:30. And
it's
then
too hot.
yeah, it was too hot. And it was perfect because it was closer to the beach. It was the OC fair. So
Ooh.
by that time it had cooled down and it was lovely. And then, you can eat something when it's later. I was
Yeah, it's later.
home.
I too am in a I am too right now. Like last night where I was like, what do you want for dinner? And I was like, I said yogurt and fruit. Like that's all I wanted. I was like yogurt and fruit. That's what I want again tonight too. I just want yogurt and fruit, please. And thank you. It's too much right now.
It's too much.
We're just in a yogurt land, frozen yogurt land with fruit or frozen yogurt by itself. That's all. That's it.
Yes. Just a
We don't
little,
want anything else.
and it's quite delicious.
And Jen and I get in these phases where we really just want one thing or two things, and we ride that horse. That's the only thing we want. And then somebody will be like, "I know your favorite thing is." I'm gonna make something up. I know your favorite thing is mango strips, and I'm like, it was mango strips. It was mango strips for a month, 2 months, and now it is coconut
Yogurt.
bites. And then I ride that horse, and now it's like right now it's yogurt and fruit, and that's all I want.
You know, she left to go to Chicago for 2 weeks. I was here by myself. I She came back. I was like, okay, let's go to Yogurtland. And I had so many points that it's like, you have $5 off from all your points. Do you want to use it? And she looked at me and I was like, yes, I do. I'll take $5 off with gratitude. And then she was like, had a lot of those bonus points,
Yeah,
did you?
where
And
did
I was like,
those bonus points come in? I know a friend of ours. Their one of their kids after school they go to Dairy Queen. That's what they get so much money and they go. I bring my lunch to school every day, but then I take that money and I use it for my after school snack because the parents are like, "This is how much money you get a week for lunch. If you want it, great. If you don't, whatever you want to do, that's what you get." And so they save their money up for DQ, little Dairy Queen, and they have so many points that when I saw them last time, I was like, what do you want to do? And they're like, well, I got enough points to buy a cake at Dairy Queen. I'm like, you got your ass enough points to buy yourself a whole Dairy Queen cake? I was like, that's some love right there.
that's some love.
That's some love. So you'll know you have a problem when you have enough to buy yourself a frozen yogurt cake.
Mhm. Yeah. You know exactly how long that shelled chocolate takes to harden.
Girl, okay, one of my favorite things on birthdays, friends, is to ask, what is your like, how do you what's your dessert for the day? I think it's probably going to be frozen yogurt for you this year. But like, I always like to think about, and it changes from year to year. Like, what's your, like, it's my birthday. I'm a party like it's my birthday. what am I eating tonight? If I'm blowing out a candle, what is my dessert of choice? What are you thinking? Is it the yogurt today?
Well, yes, I've already requested yogurt land, but we probably won't get it today because we're heading up to, but I've already rain checked it for this this week.
Okay. And what's your flavor
But I
flav?
usually love pie.
You
Usually
love
whatever
pie.
kind of pie. But I'm not really into pie.
Yeah. Right? You've ridden that horse already. Now we're on the yogurt land. Well, okay, so two questions then. What's your flavor of yogurt you're getting?
Right now, I love anything with tart. And so right now they have the plain tart Yogurtland and they
Okay.
have a mango tart. And sometimes they have a coconut, but I have also been getting the cheesecake. And so I do a little round of all of it. And then I put extra coconut shreds all over it. And then I put the fruit like blueberry on
Yes.
little piece of
Okay.
mango.
Okay. And then
And then I do put granola on top of that.
I mean, because you're not an animal. Come on. Let's just make it special. And then if you were doing a pie, we're not doing a pie this year, but what if you were doing a pie, what's your favorite pie?
I love peach pie.
Mm,
I love all pies really.
yeah.
All
Okay.
pies. Chocolate pie, fruit pie,
Yeah, I put a
coconut cream
stamp,
pie.
official pie lover. Like you're like you could be an official pie lover. Okay. You get that stamp of approval. I like it. You get like a little stamp. Little
I don't love the store-bought like cherry pies. That
no.
look
Huh,
crazy.
no. No.
One time, my little grandma Adams, she would always bring pies to church, and she used the little pie crusts, that had the plastic, but
Oh yeah.
she forgot to take the plastic out, and then she put a whole bunch of cherry pie filling on top of that plastic thing, and then made pie. And then my dad came over and said, "Mom, that pie still had, I went to cut a piece and it still has that plastic thing in there." And she goes, "Oh," she goes, "Go over there and get that pie and eat all that filling and bring that pie crust back." And he goes, my dad goes, "Mama, I can't eat all that pie filling." And he goes, "I'll throw it away." She goes, "Don't you throw that good pie filling away. You just eat that whole pie crust and bring it all over here and I can use that pie crust again."
I love that. Like we're not wasting
We're not
good
wasting that.
filling. Don't you waste good filling. You get back in there.
You
Kind of
eat
like
all
he was
that filling and bring that pie crust.
like he's a prize fighter. Like she's slapping him on the side. She's wiping him down. She's squirting water in his mouth. She's like, you get back in that ring. You eat all that pie filling, and then you get back here and bring me the crust. And he's like, Mama, I can't. She's like, boy, get on out there. I'm gonna
Get on
tell
what
you, get
you're
back
doing.
out there. Come on back. Well, that's
It's
good.
like it's like remember when I made all of those Aunt Vera's good Christian pies,
Yes, I
which
do.
was
Yes. Yes.
we ate probably I don't know how many years worth of that Aunt Vera's good Christian pie that I made you guys eat.
Yes, there was a few things wrong with Aunt Vera's Christian pie. None of us said anything. We kept that to ourselves, but we knew something was a little strange with this pie. And Jen will interject, but in my recollection of this pie, it was whipped cream,
Yeah.
pineapple,
Yes.
anything else?
It was cottage cheese, Cool Whip,
Cool Whip and
and
pineapple.
pineapple. Yes, and you mix
This
them
is
all together.
blended together. That listen, like you're like kind of like right now, you might be like your one eyebrow kind of went down, probably like right. You're like, what? Yeah, that's the
The can of
ingredients. That's
pineapple.
the ingredients. And
Yeah.
then you blend it all together, and
Yes.
then you put it in the
The
ice
ice box.
box, and
Yes.
you serve it up. And in your mind, you're probably thinking there should be something more to that
Yeah.
pie.
But Aunt Vera told me that she had won many awards for
Oh
this
yeah, it
pie.
was award winning. This ingredients with a pie crust is award winning.
Yes, and it was
But
quite delicious. Like
yeah,
the filling was nice and sweet, and It was
Yeah,
very delicious.
it was really delicious, but I'm not sure that's filling.
No,
Maybe it has
turns
toppings
out it was icing. We've been eating icing all these years because Aunt Vera,
with pie crust, with graham cracker pie crust and icing. So Aunt Vera's good Christian pie, and if you can
she forgot
imagine,
the pie. There was supposed to be a cake underneath it.
so like, can you imagine, like, like when your kids are like putting together their like cookbook for their class, and they're like, "Mom, do you have a recipe?" And Jen's like, "I sure do," and it's all the way from Oklahoma. It's Aunt Vera's good Christian pie,
That's what I
and
called it because she was a good Christian. And I loved Aunt Vera so much. And every time I would say, "This pie is so good, Aunt Vera," and she goes, "Well, it's won so many awards." And then I would come home and then make it for all of my friends.
but
But
Aunt Vera maybe over the years
she forgot
maybe
there's a cake
had
that's
forgotten a
actually,
key ingredient, and it went from award winning to just
well, it is award winning when it had the cake underneath it because this was the filling we've been eating all these, or the icing.
yeah, where yeah, it was award winning when you had it as the whole package, right? I love that.
And we love Aunt Vera. And we love
Love it.
you for always eating that
Yeah,
pie.
just kept eating. None like I think like there were times where I was like, this is like this won an award. This just this because it feels like
I loved
this
it.
just feels like a like a family reunion. We've you've got somebody made somebody made green beans, somebody made this the salad, somebody put this next to it, like it didn't feel
Now that I think of it, I don't think it was cottage cheese. I think it was Cool Whip, a can of pineapple, and
there's
coconut.
something else, but I'm with you, I don't think it
It
was
was
cottage
coconut
cheese.
strips. Or not coconut strips, so it's shredded coconut.
Yeah, shredded coconut, pineapple, Cool Whip, maybe ice cream or something,
No,
like it
I
was like.
think it was like a pudding packet,
Oh,
just
that's
with
what it was.
the,
It was the pudding packet. You're right. It was the
but
pudding
you don't
packet.
make the pudding packet, you just put the or
Yep, that's
jello
right. I
something.
think so. I'm with you. Probably not cottage cheese. Probably. It's award winning for where? Like, where would you serve this? Where wouldn't we serve it, people?
We
Where
served it
wouldn't we
all the
serve it?
time.
We ate
But
it every
then Shannon
summer.
would start to say, I'd say, "Do you want a piece of Aunt Vera's good Christian pie?" And she said, I don't.
I don't want it. And I don't say no to most. Like I don't know if I do need some of this. It feels like I'm just eating whipped cream,
Mhm,
like a giant bowl of whipped cream.
mhm.
And I just couldn't wrap my head around where it was award winning. That's that tripped me up. I couldn't enjoy it because I kept thinking, where was this award? Like, where was the award show?
When Shannon was down, we got to go and visit our
Oh,
beautiful
mm,
acting professor,
yep,
Gretchen Connie. And
yes.
yeah, it was such a lovely experience.
It was so magical because, this, you think about a time in your life for us, when we went to grad school together, and it was really special. When you go, like for us, acting grad school, we were like a class of 12. And I may have one or two numbers, former grad school friends. If you're like, the number was 11, I'm just going to loosely say 12. But there were 12 of us, it felt like, or maybe give or take a number. And selected in the whole country to be part of this class, and it was, you really go through so much together, and the experience for me, for Jennifer, was really special, really impactful in your life. And this teacher was incredibly impactful because she was so curious about life. So circling back to me saying, I don't know what those words mean, and Jen going, maybe we could make some ideas and go like, define what this word means to you. This professor was the epitome of curious
Mhm.
and asking questions. So they are now at this place in their life where they are in a home for, and I think there's like, was it 6, 8 women, Jen, who lived there. And when we saw her, like, we were like, oh, so beautiful. But she had not lost that thread of curious.
Mhm.
So one of our favorite stories about Gretchen is that she was burgled when we were in grad school. She was burgled, and somebody, like, as she was opening up her car, her garage in Los Angeles, somebody ran into her garage and said, "Give me everything you've got." And she said, Gretchen goes, and she tells the story to us. She goes, "I asked him, 'What do you want?' I'm not giving you everything. Specifically, tell me what everything is." Which threw the burglar, right? Like if you were burgling somebody and you're like, it's a stick up, give me everything you've got. And maybe they've got a gun or maybe they got a weapon. And you go, well, tell me what you want
Specifically.
specifically. And I'll tell you if I've got it. Right. So he goes, it frazzles him and he actually says, give me your jewelry. And she goes, what jewelry? And he goes, your rings. She says, what rings? He goes, that one. And she goes, which we all thought was hilarious, she goes, not my mother's ring, you can have this ring. And she takes off her wedding ring and throws it out of the garage, and he runs for it. As he runs for it, she shuts her garage and calls the police. But what an hilarious, but also like amazing story to go, what do you want from me?
Mhm.
You tell me specifically what you want. She never assumed anything.
No.
And that curiosity is what grew us into the performers we have. She was like, do not make any assumptions, ask questions.
Mhm.
So fast forward to our beautiful visit with her. She's like, I think Jen and I were like talking, and we were like, well, she goes, where do you live? And we go, well, Shannon lives here and Jen lives here. And she goes, and what? And in my head, I'm thinking, and nothing, and ellipses, like, and dot, dot, dot. I don't know. I trailed off. I don't know where I was going with that. But her brain was still, she did not remember us. She didn't even remember what she did. Like, she didn't remember her career, but she had held on to that truth of curiosity and asking questions. And so she kept asking us questions. And if we were vague, she would ask for specifics,
Mhm.
which kind of threw us because we hadn't been there in how many years? That
Right.
was grad school where you would go, I'm fine, and and she goes, you know what? That's
Mhm.
what she would have said to us in grad school. And you know what? What?
Yes.
What's the rest of that sentence?
Yes.
You're fine, and what? What does fine mean?
Which brings us right back to the very beginning, right? As a
Damn,
leader,
we're good
how can
today,
you
girl.
get specific?
How can
Or
you get?
not even as leader, as a person. Like even when I told her, you were one of the most impactful people,
Yeah,
teachers in my
yeah,
life. And she said, I was. And I was like, you sure were. And she was like, that's good to hear. And I was like,
right?
that's all we want at the end, right?
Yeah. We want to have an impact, but we want to have self-awareness and we want to have impact.
But you're only going to have an impact if you look within and not
Mhm.
focus outwardly. Because when you
Yep.
focus within, you're going to model outwardly.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Beautiful.
As I dramatically sniff.
I'm
Ah,
writing that down.
Mahoney,
Happy birthday, babe.
happy birthday.
I love you.
I love you.
It's good.
Thanks, Pops.